everyone. So, Remi Tinubu is coming out to tell us that the Senate is for matured people. It's an honor to be there and all of that. That people will keep complimenting you. You just need, you people, you just need to know how you handle it and whatever. Why are we so disingenuous? I'm not even surprised about Remi Tinubu. I mean, who is surprised about her? Somebody that could sit down and defend a man who was caught on camera physically assaulting the sales lady in that place, and she comes to say, oh, do you want us to protect you? Well, she's used to protecting, and she's used to protecting abusive men. She's used to protecting senators who have behaved badly. When senators behave badly, it is not a disgrace to the so-called institution, as they call it. It is when senators are fighting for the rights, or standing up for Nigeria, or speaking up for Nigeria, or doing the right thing, that it becomes an anomaly, and they have to punish that person, with suspension. The moment you have the guts to have a mouth, the next thing they are bringing out suspension one way or the other. But before I go on too much, just watch this and hear what Remi Tinubu had to say.
Like I said, and women, I celebrate you. Keep doing what you know how to do, lifting your head high. And I know with what is going on in the Senate, you say, why am I not taking a position? So, but I believe that Senate is doing what is needful, because that's what it is. It's an inside place, and it's a matured chambers. We shouldn't be hearing things like that. It's a matured chamber, and it should be treated with respect. It's an honor for you to be in that place alone. I was there for 12 years, even in my younger days, and I'm still trying to look young, But people compliment you all the time. Only that, just put your place in yourself. Women, raise yourself high. Don't be in a position that men will be talking to you. You can always shut them down before they start. So all the very best. Keep doing your best. Happy International Women's Day.
I think Remi Tinubu thinks that this is a world of before, where people will do things and there's no recollection, and people will not remember. But people do things and forget what it is that they had done. When she also was quarreling at in the Senate, so it was not a place for matured people. When she was there and doing her own quarrels and interrupting, someone else who was talking, she was even called to order. She did not know, her maturity was on leave then. It is now that she knows that there's something, called maturity. The hypocrisy of it all. I'm not even, Remi Tinubu, if she had said otherwise, would have been shocking and surprising. For me, it's people like Ireti that, well, even that shouldn't be shocking and surprising to me, but it actually is, and I really felt that one, because this is someone I thought was on the side of justice, on the side of equity, not knowing that it's on the side of patriarchy and whatever it is that they will be seen as the good ones who are behaving very well. So in the case of Remi Tinubu, she has forgotten that she also, but just listen to this.
Why I'm taking order, distinguished Senator Tinubu. Somebody's on the floor. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, why I'm taking us through this thing is because the nation is watching us.
So during this time, maturity was on leave, and then she could do whatever it is that she. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, she was even much older than Natasha is, when Natasha than Natasha's age right now, because Natasha is in her 40s, and she's, I think, early 40s, if I'm not mistaken, and she's doing these great, amazing things. All of these people who have had to kiss the behind of patriarchy, who have had to enslave themselves, who have had to defend patriarchy, I think they are angry somehow that this is a woman, Senator Natasha was able to come in based on her own audacity, based on her own courage, based on the people believing in her, based on her facing fights that every other person, most people in that place don't even understand, for her to get in there. And it's almost like, oh, you think you're better than us because you came in on your own, whatever. You are not there accepting things anyhow that needs to be done. And like I said earlier, I'm really not surprised at the fact at Remi Tinubu and what she has said. We saw how Remi Tinubu was ready to protect publicly on camera. She was saying it, telling her, and that senator called her out, you understand, called them all out to say, you guys have no right to suspend him. It is when it's a woman, because it's Senator Natasha, a lot of people have mouth that they never had before. All of a sudden they have mouth to begin to yarn and say all sorts of things. She was there. This is a man who was caught on camera assaulting another person in front of a policeman, and yet the Senate did not suspend him, the Senate did not punish him. They went on, and she was there yapping about protecting. She's used to protecting abusive people against her own gender. So there's no surprising thing about that one. But just take a look at this.
Stop us. But you don't come to on the other side and start dictating to us. Do you want us to protect you, or do you want us to defend you, or you want to be on your own? Because do you realize that the Senate, I off that mic and let me finish. Do you realize that the Senate, when we constitute this, whatever the law gives, we can also suspend you? Do you realize that? No, sir.
I will not sit and you threaten me with suspicion.
We are not threatening you. I said
like
we are not threatening you.
I will not sit you threatening you suspension.
With all due respect, sir.
With all due respect to you, I won't sit here. You are my colleague. You are a senator like me. You cannot threaten me suspension.
Excuse me.
I take exception, ma'am.
Excuse me.
Off that man. You are digging a hole for yourself.
Excuse me.
All right, then go and bury him.
Okay. I'm also another woman.
Yes, ma'am.
But like I keep saying, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this anger that we feel, let's put it to work. It is time for us to put women and youth at the National Assembly. We can do it. It looks impossible until it's done. These people think that they have power over everything. It's because we've never really followed them, or we've never really tested them. If we don't do anything right now, I tell you guys, they are already handing over to their children, and their children are going to be worse. They are going to be deadlier, and you'll not be able to remove them. These ones, there are a lot of this thing that you have over them right now. A lot of advantage in that they are not very tech savvy. They don't understand the social media very well. They are not very creative. But their children have all of these advantage. And if you allow these people hand over to their children, which is something that they're already doing, they're already prepping their children. You're seeing them, these children of politicians, moving around, running for office, being in office. This is how we are going to sit down. And the way that they've oppressed us, they will end up oppressing our children again. And this is something that we must never allow. So yes, we are angry, but this anger, by the grace of God, we're not going to waste it. Just like the civil rights movement also we were able to use that anger that was unleashed when Rosa Parks refused to stand up and she was arrested, and they made use of it. Let this also be a turning point in the history of Nigeria, where we talk about Senator Natasha courageously speaking out and the effect it had on the nation. Thank you so much for watching.